Our second presenter is not a member of our club, but our club welcomes everybody who needs to present for their achievements. And it's exemplified by Mary. This is her last presentation with the HPL project. And her HPL project is area governorship. She's discussing the Division A, Area 29. Her last presentation is analyzing and presenting your results. Please help me welcome Mary.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Members of Toastmaster Leadership Club, distinguished guests, and my dear guidance committee.
Beg for mercy.
Beg for mercy, that was Eddie who wanted to chop me last time as an evaluator. That's why I beg for mercy today. But my name is Mary Verghese. I am here to present the final item in the HPL project, which is called Analyzing and Presenting Your Results. For those of you who have not seen my earlier presentations, my HPL project was to be the area governor. The area governorship was my HPL project. I have already presented 4 of the items in the HPL project, and this is of course my final. Today, I'm going to be talking about what have I gained from being an area governor. As an area governor, I was serving Area 29 in Division A. As you can see, there are 5 clubs. All of them are based in Fremont all the way down. Unlike the clubs that you are used to, these clubs are fairly, I should say, baby clubs. They are just 10 to 15 years old. And for somebody like Randy, who has been in Toastmaster for years, we are still babies, so it was a challenge for me to take this role as an area governor. My vision as an area governor was to inspire, motivate, and energize every Toastmaster in my area. Basically, no Toastmaster left behind was my goal. My mission was to provide collaborative and an enriching learning experience for all clubs in my area with the core values that I really always have been kept in my heart, which is to service, support, be consistent, and always be transparent wherever I am serving. How did I serve my area as an area governor? What were the activities for my term? It started in June 2013 and ended in June 2014. First and foremost, they say, as an area governor, all you have to do is visit your clubs, which I did, of course. All you have to do is visit your clubs at least 2 times. I did those. However, for me, it was not enough. I think I wanted to go back to them as many times as I could because I was dying to hear them, see them, speak to them, and understand them so that I could serve them better. All in all of the clubs that I had in my area were visited and within the due time. After I am supposed to visit my clubs, I'm supposed to give reports, which is called the Area Governor Report. And those of you who have not been an area governor before, it looks like a 5 to 8 sheet report. You have to understand what the club is like, the club culture is like, what does the club need, and how you can improve the quality of the club. So it's a series of questionnaire that you have to answer and provide results to Toastmasters International. All of them were submitted on time, without any problems. Next was to serve the club officers by providing them opportunities to get trained. We had 2 officer makeup trainings during the entire term. One was in San Leandro and the other one was in Fremont, and they were all done both with the help of Division A Governor Yulma Gutierrez and myself. Speech contests are activities that some of our Toastmasters really look forward to. Some of them are really competitive. They want to be out there in the contest. And my goal was to provide the opportunity for each and every club member, even though they were not competitive, to experience speech contest. And both the times, once in each 6-month term, we had the contests, and they were well attended. As an area governor, it was very important for me to be learning as I was moving, and that is why my goal was to attend each and every decum. And the way I do is that I go there, even though I may or may not have anything to do, I just go and actively listen so that I can understand what the district needs, what can I take home as a learning experience from the decum. So I have attended all the decums, but here and there because of personal commitment somewhere else, but I attended all the decums during my term. It was very important for me to be active at the district level, so I made sure that our clubs were aware of all the district level events that were happening, like the district conference, the TLI, the speech contest. So I actually went for both the district conference and made sure that I could bring how many ever with me to attend the district conference as well as the TLI. Last but not the least is the area council meeting. These meetings are held in Fremont every month, no matter what. We gather together with my action team, which includes our club president and the club vice presidents. During the earlier part of the term, I designated Wednesday of the month, every last Wednesday of the month, to hold these area council meetings so that there's no confusion about when, what, where. We had a designated time, we had a designated place to meet, so everyone in the action committee knew, okay, ACM is coming, so I always had participation from each and every club. With that working plan, I am going to be presenting the results. Now, these results are the quantifiable results in the form of DCP, that is the Distinguished Club Program, and most of are familiar with that. This is something that we see every now and then. I have some samples of it because this is what we talk about during our ACMs. We started with barely anything, and at the end we came to a situation where all of our goals were achieved. So this is a progressive development of the DCP. As you can see, our clubs have done well. South Bay Toastmasters has achieved the distinguished level. Now, those of you who do not know South Bay has been in existence for about 14 years, but they have never been distinguished. This year was a great year because they have achieved 5 of their goals some of the time, but their challenge was to get 20 members. Why? Because they are a corporate club, they meet during lunch hour. They had a lot of problems getting new members. but we managed to get 18 members. That was the 5 above the base that they had started during the term, and that was the biggest achievement for the club as well as for me during the term. Seagate RMO Club, I will talk about this club a little bit later. CBC Toastmaster Club is a community-based club. They meet on Saturday mornings from 10:45 to 11:15. It's a much more elaborate meeting with, just like TLC here. So it's a more committed club, so they didn't have any problem doing their DCP. Soaring Eagles is a student university-based club. They have had their own struggles, however, with the guidance that one of our distinguished members in Area 29, they have achieved the select distinguished status this year. Digitalkers is another club that is a corporate club. Again, they meet during lunchtime. They have their own struggles. However, they managed to get select distinguished status as well. And finally, we have a new club, and I'll talk to you about that new club soon. So, in all, looks great to me. There is no doubt that we were able to achieve the President's distinguished status for this area, Area 29. And I looked back, how much ever I could go back, and I didn't find Area 29 being President's distinguished. This is the first time that Area 29 has achieved the President's distinguished status. Seagate, my challenges. Let's talk about my challenges. Last time when I was here talking about working the plan, I talked about two big issues that I wanted to bring. One was a club called Seagate Club, which is a corporate club. They meet at lunchtime, and they had, from visits that I had made, I learned that they had a different culture. That's the first time I visited them, I talked to the active members that were there, and at the end of my talk, I was asked, can we be left alone? From the beginning of my term, as soon as I took charge, I have been starting to send a lot of emails about TLI, about officers training, about all the events I could possibly get them engaged. I think they were overwhelmed with all my emails. Never would I receive any response from them, but when I went there and met them, that's the question they asked. Can we please be left alone? Sure. I didn't say anything, of course. I did say sure. And I basically wanted to take some time, think back, and come back to them when I had a concrete plan to work on. I did. The entire 6-month terms passed, and I had to make the second visit. And I was trying to get in touch with them again, and I tried to contact them. No one would respond. There was no way I could even get any response from them, either in the form of email or phone or whichever way I would try. No response from them. So I was almost on the verge of giving up. However, I was not going to give up. So I contacted the district level officers, Jean, and I asked them, can I have some information about this club? What is the history of this club? Who was the mentor? Who was the charter? Who were the charter members? And all that information, but nothing came out. Well, I kept calling them, and one day somebody actually answered that phone call. Poor member must have got tired of my phone calls. So she finally responded, and she said, yeah, come on, come to the club. So I was so excited, and I did schedule my visit. I visited them. At that point of time, they were a little relaxed. They were a little bit welcoming. However, they didn't ask me the question, can we be left alone? They were responsive when I gave them the list of activities that they could possibly do to gain some DCP points, they didn't say no, but they say, yes, we will try. And so I kept giving them the information. I knew who were the 2 members who had to finish their CC. They had almost finished all the CC speeches, but not had submitted. So one of the members had never kept a manual, had never had any evaluation reports. So it was very hard for him to go back and find his speech information, even to submit. So I kept persuading him to find a way, go back and find his manual and get at least any information that he could possibly get to submit. But I tried until the end, and it never happened. However, the person who I was talking to did say, thank you at the end. Thank you for helping me. I'm sorry I couldn't do it, but thank you for helping me. More importantly, I would like to highlight not the quantitative TCP goals. I was hoping to show you some other non-quantitative but qualitative activities that I've had. Speech contest was very actively attended. I had every responsible member. I had every role filled from members from Area 29. I didn't have to go out of Area 29 to fill any of the roles for speech contest. We were very successful. We actually, one of our club members was at the district level speech contest and won 2nd place in the speech contest. We had our first DTM in Area 29, and that was Area Robert Kaiser. We had a great celebration, and we actually spent some time honoring him and understanding, making other Toastmasters understand what DTM is all about. Our new club that we started was City Speech Toastmaster Club. We had a demo meeting on 14th of Jan, and we met in City Beach several times. But this club has a challenge that it is not able to keep the location. So one day we actually met in a brewing location.
8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning.
One day we actually met outside, and that was my first ever outdoor Toastmaster meeting. So all in all, we had a great year. I think I would love to talk more and more, but what are my lessons learned? That's where I want to come to. Leadership, for me, it's a totally elevated level of leadership that I experienced this time. It is the concept of having a vision, mission, and the core values. That was newly found and newly realized concept as a leader. With all the activities, I think now Area 29 is a very lively place. It's a lively, active area. About myself, what did I learn? I think I learned that I am more of a service-based leader, and I believe in earned power. The biggest compliment that I received was from one of our Toastmaster members whom I had encouraged to take up a role, and he said, after the speech contest, he said, Mary, I did it for you because I knew that if you entrust me a responsibility, you will carry me up to the level that you want me to see. The take-home lesson, or any leadership role that I have realized that whatever you do, you have to put yourself out there, heart and soul, and all of yourself. So I would love to try this HPL outside of Toastmasters. Toastmasters has been a wonderful experience. It's a great stepping stone, but I would like to take this challenge beyond Toastmasters. Moving on, our new area governor for Area 29 is George Marshall. He is a DTM, and I've already had a conversation, a meeting with him where I have given him all the information that I have gathered on a silver platter. And I'm hoping that things will go to the next level for Area 29. With that, I can take any questions and answers. Any kid.
I know 829 very well. I served as division governor.
Yes, you did.
And so there was a lot of building blocks, and I'm so pleased to see how you've taken 829 from a struggling level that when Ilma was the area governor there to where it is today, President's Distinguished. Congratulations on that. You mentioned frequent club visits, and but you didn't use the operative word. I want to ask you, do you think the frequent visits helped you build the relationships with the club?
Yes,
Okay, I wish you would have spoke to that, because that would have been cool. That's important to know.
yes.
The other thing, the other question I had here was, you came back and circled around to the first project of the HPL, and that is understanding leadership. One of the premise of the 6 dimensions of leadership. You used 3 words, and I want to repeat them and let you know that I think these are key. Service-based leader. So I want to applaud you for that, for bringing that up. I'm trying to decide on the questions. Can you explain what the minimum goals are for Distinguished and what the goals were? Do you remember them?
For the area?
For the area to
For the
become
area.
President's Distinguished.
Yes, I think the minimum is to get 50% of the club base, which is the club base members. should-
Clubs.
Clubs. That is what the minimum is. And to become presidents, I think you have to add a new club, one more club to the area. We didn't lose any club, that was great, but we added one more. Yay.
Yay.
Any more questions? Did I answer your question?
Oh, yes.
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 Any more questions? Tyree?
Yeah, when Eddie touched on it, at the very beginning, the very first presentation you do is your leadership graph, and I was really hoping that you were gonna share
Yes,
the before and after.
Yes.
Do you have that?
I do have it,
Okay.
and there is a reason why I didn't touch it. The thing that I talked about during my final summary is that I learned a lot. In my earlier presentation, I said that I believe that I have the required qualities of a great leader in Toastmasters, but when I look at outside of Toastmasters, my qualities are still underdeveloped. And from the summary, I think you must have gauged that I wanted to elevate my leadership skills by stepping outside my comfort zone, which is, of course, Toastmasters is really comfortable, but I would like to step it up to a challenging environment that is something beyond Toastmasters. And that's where I still need to work on it. That's where I still need to elevate. So my leadership skill in Toastmasters was great in the beginning and it's still great, but I would like to step it up beyond what I'm.
I got a quick follow-up question. So is the HPL an effective tool?
It wasn't a very effective tool because I understood the concept of mission and the core values. And I can apply that wherever, whichever leadership role I will take in the future. Any more questions? Justin?
You thought about what your next project is outside?
Not yet. That's where the break is, that's why the break is, I have taken a break this year and I would like to use that time to really think, develop, and put myself to a great service opportunity. Whatever I can. Any more questions?
Not really a question, but just kind of a continuation of what Justin said, is that it doesn't have to be a year-long project.
It doesn't
It can
have-
certainly be something
Yes.
smaller, so if you find something that you think challenges you
Yes,
and comes across your way,
yes,
you could certainly take this tool
yes.
and use it in the same way, but in a shortened version of
Sure,
it.
of
So
course, thank
don't
you.
feel like it has to be something
Yeah.
that's another year-long project.
Yes, definitely.
Unless you don't want me to sign off.
Definitely. Any more questions? No? All right, so I'm going to thank, okay. Do I do it right before the evaluation? After?
Now.
Before?
Now.
All right, so I would like to thank Terry Johnson and Steve today, who actually presented this area governorship as the HPL project at one of the decans that I was, and that's how this whole idea concept came up. I would also want to thank Eddie Cater and Todd Henry, who actually presented the training for area governor, that which made the concept very clear. I understood why area governors should be there in between the club and the district level. Thank you to Toastmasters Leadership Club. Thank you to Justin Lola, who helped me get in here and bring me here right in front of you to be able to talk. Thank you TLC for offering all these suggestions, asking me questions, and giving your valuable feedback as evaluations. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.